Hey guys, this video is about ways your life can change after having rabbits. Feel free to correct me if I get any information wrong. Number 1, if you are the one that feeds your rabbit the most, you may notice that you eat more healthy than before. This is because if you feed rabbits the right food for them and in moderation, you'll have significantly more healthy food lying around than you would have had otherwise, which often encourages rabbit owners to eat healthy themselves, especially if they eat close to or in the same room as their rabbit. Depending on what diet the rabbit owner already had, this could be a good way to start a weight loss journey or lose some weight, assuming that was your goal to begin with. This is not me judging people who are overweight, by the way. Your body is your business, not mine. Foods that should be fed in moderation to rabbits don't necessarily need to be fed in moderation to people. Number 2, you become more aware of where you sit down if you are in reach of your rabbit. For example, whenever I sit on the sofa, I always expect Sandy to jump onto the sofa, jump all over me, and then demand to be stroked. I wouldn't have really thought much of it regarding sitting on the sofa before getting a rabbit. Other than the sofa, Sandy is on the sofa incredibly often, however she is not on the sofa all of the time. Sometimes she will be on the floor, and in cases like this, people will pet her and give her attention. Number 3, you'll find that you have noticeably more opportunities than you did before. For example, if you are in high school or university, it could especially help you start conversations with people and may even give people the impression that you are compassionate and caring, and could overall help you stand out. Another example is people who use their rabbits to have a social media presence. For a good majority of rabbit influencers, especially myself, if we didn't have rabbits, we probably wouldn't have a social media presence at all outside of using animals in general to have a social media presence. But that's not to say that you can't be successful in another genre if you are making rabbit videos or animal videos in general. For example, if it wasn't for Sandy, I likely wouldn't be doing YouTube videos right now, or have any presence on social media for that matter, because there isn't really any other genre of content that is appealing enough to me to want to make it myself at the moment, especially when I have learned a lot about rabbits in the last 3 years that I have had one, and I'm very passionate in the topic of rabbits, which may I add likely wouldn't have been the case if I never had a rabbit. Number 4, if you have a rabbit, you may be able to give them leftover food if it is the right food for them, and in moderation. However, before getting a rabbit, you may have thrown this leftover food away, so rabbits can be a good way to get rid of food and make you feel less bad about being wasteful. Number 5, if you put your rabbit outside, you may not have to go through the effort of cutting grass, as your rabbit might do it for you, compared to before having a rabbit where you would have to do it yourself. Number 6, your self-awareness might increase, especially regarding you paying more attention to things being chewed and where your rabbit is. Number 7, if you make the commitment of taking care of a rabbit and take care of your rabbit well, then you will likely feel a sense of accomplishment for making the commitment that most people aren't willing to make. Compared to most people who don't have rabbits but instead have typical pets like dogs or cats, you can know that you don't have to be like everyone else, because by default, if you are making the commitment of taking care of a rabbit well, then you are not living the typical life when it comes to house pets. But that's okay and arguably a good thing. If you don't have rabbits, then you will either have other animals or no animals at all. That's important to keep note of. And the same people who have other animals likely would have an animal that isn't as much of a commitment if they don't have a rabbit. Number 8, after having a rabbit established that you take care of, you may have become noticeably more compassionate and patient than you were before. Perhaps you were somewhat both of these things before, but the amount that you are these things increased because making the commitment of taking care of a rabbit well and adapting for a rabbit when need be would require you to develop a decent level of patience, understanding, and compassion that you may have not had the same amount of before. Because rabbits are prey animals, gaining their trust takes time and effort. So if you were able to achieve getting your rabbit's trust, then that likely means you achieved being all of the things I just listed. Thank you for watching this video, and bye!